Yes, this review is unexpected. Before we begin, first off, this is the Angry Grant Show. Welcome, everybody. And this is a full spoiler. Well, I guess no, we don't really need to spoil it. Just whatever. It's not even worth spoiling. There's no point. It's an Angry Grant Show. I'd like to begin by mentioning today is my 29th birthday. Yes. I had a really good evening. Friends, family, all that stuff, cake and gifts and all that happy jazz and pizza. It was a lot of fun. And later on in the weeks, me and some more friends I'm going to get some more gifts, and I'm going to go see a movie I'm really looking forward to that I'm going to review on the channel with some good friends of mine. It'll be so much fun. We have a packed couple of weeks of November left, but tonight, on late evening of my birthday, how did I choose to spend it? Watching a terrible movie. I want to point out that, well, I'll save it for the end. All I will say is, yeah, so, R.I.P.D 2, Rise of the Damned. No, I'm not kidding. R.I.P.D 2, Rise of the Damned is now streaming on Netflix, and it went straight to Blu-ray. It's one of those movies. Apparently no one directed it because there's no info of this on IMDb, but it exists. It's a real movie. I can show you the poster art and everything. Okay, it's directed by Paul Layden, whose only major movie directing credit, according to this, is a film called Chick Fight, starring Bella Thorne. What's R.I.P.D 2 about? Well, ostensibly, it's a prequel to the completely vaporous and entirely forgotten just about by everyone on planet Earth, R.I.P.D. Rest in Peace Department from 2013. That movie starred Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges. This movie's downgraded. So what is R.I.P.D 2 Rise of the Damned about? Yeah, I'm not happy. R.I.P.D 2 Rise of the Damned is ostensibly a prequel. Jeffrey Donovan plays essentially a younger version of Jeff Bridges' character. This is about how he died right on the eve of his daughter's wedding. But that's only kind of it, and he wants to get back to let his daughter know how he feels. But that's barely what this is about. He's hired from the R.I.P.D, and he has to team up with this badass chick, and they are fighting the Deados, which just sounds like the invention of a 12-year-old boy. And there's no Kevin Bacon. What there is Jake Choi as one of the most obnoxious characters on planet Earth, which is sad because Jake Choi is really great on the formerly aired terrific sitcom Single Parents. If you have not seen it, it's really good. But he's obnoxious here, and ostensibly action, horror, fantasy, and laughs and shenanigans ensue, but it's PG-13, and fuck the plot. This movie... I'm 29 years old. Nearly all 29 years of those I've seen movies, just about. 3 years now, 3 years ago I started on my Letterboxd account, so I've been reviewing movies somewhat regularly for the last 3 years. I've seen, even before then, probably hundreds of thousands of movies. Right now, I cannot think of one more inexplicable or more... why the fuck was this made? And who the fuck asked for it than R.I.P.D 2 Rise of the Damned? This movie is not merely bad, but totally didn't need to exist. Really. Who remembers R.I.P.D? I don't. I saw R.I.P.D in the theaters. I don't remember anything about it. The only reason I even knew this was the character is because... the only one aspect I vaguely remember is that Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds were in it, and that Jeff Bridges played a cowboy, and I kind of checked the cast list to make sure their character names matched, and they did. That is the only reason I know that Jeffrey Donovan is supposed to be Jeff Bridges. This movie's terrible. This movie, the characters are overacting like crazy. I haven't seen, you couldn't find this much ham in a butcher shop. It's insane. Everyone is barely blinking and kind of going real big with it. And one of the other things I started to remember watching this from the first movie that I guess was in the first movie that I do vaguely remember finding this moderately amusing in the first movie that apparently the idea is that anyone who's in the R.I.P.D. they take on like a form to the rest of the world. So I think I remember that in the first movie, like, oh yeah, like Jeff Bridges was like a supermodel and Ryan Reynolds was like a little like Chinese restaurant owner, little short little Asian guy. I kind of vaguely remember at least the first time that joke came up to be kind of like, okay, it's kind of cute. This movie, it's these two women who are African American. And at the beginning, they seem like maybe they're trying to do some social commentary on racism in one scene, and then it's never brought up again. But here's the issue. The woman who's playing his cover is terrible because she's trying to put on... It's like Jeffrey Donovan doing a bad Jeff Bridges impression, but he's now taking the form of this woman who's doing a bad impression of his bad impression. It's terrible. The special effects are awful. The one aspect of this movie, I'll say this. There are maybe 2 moderate pluses to this movie, and then we're going to end this shit, because I'm done with this. I'm done talking about this. I'm going to give this as little thought as the people making it. Like, literally, even on an executive level, like, the first movie was a notorious bomb. I checked. It cost $154 million to make it. It made $78 million worldwide. It was a bomb, and it was 12% on Rotten Tomatoes, and like 30% audience. Who was asking for this? Seriously, who the fuck wanted R.I.P.D. too? Even on an executive level, like who sat there even like, they're not going to make money off of this. Who wanted this? Anyway, but there were a couple of moderate things. First off, the special effects are terrible. They look like bad After Effects. But I will say this. Even though the special effects on it were bad, the design of the villain's kind of final monster form at the end was moderately kind of creative and cool. I have to give it that. And then there were 2 moments in this movie that made me kind of half smirk. One of them was the start of a running joke that wore out its welcome very fast, and it was, I'll just say what it is. The Jake Choi character starts to annoy Jeffrey Donovan. Also, Jeffrey Donovan's a good actor, and a good character actor, and he kind of is wasted on this. He starts to irritate him, and he says, oh, what are you going to do, or something. Like, he's, like, trying to psych him out, and he just takes out his gun, knowing it's not going to hurt him, and just shoots him 5 times in the chest. Then he goes, okay, I'll shut up. Like, it was like, okay, kind of moderate smirk. Because it just was unexpected. But then they do it, like, 6 more times, and it's the same joke. And then the other bit was, right at the beginning, he's talking to, I guess, the equivalent of, like, I think it was Mary Louise Parker in the first movie. It's, I guess, her younger self, who's also overacting, but there's a part where he's talking about, like, is my daughter okay? And she goes, she's a negative. And he goes, oh no! And she goes, oh no, negative's a positive. And he goes, bad means good here? And she goes, yeah. And he goes, you really should mention that. And she goes, I know it's a problem. I was like, okay, it's one chuckle. That is one chuckle. That's one line in the whole movie that made me go, okay, that's kind of funny. Other than that, no, just, that's still not going to save it from, you see it, bang. Or not even bang, bang, ow. Middle finger of kindness. Fuck R.I.P.D. 2 Rise of the Dead. Who wanted this? Really? Honest to God, who wanted this? It's terrible. It's on Netflix, it's also on the, just don't bother. It's an hour and 45 minutes of your life that you're not going to get back. Trust me, I watched the whole goddamn thing. Terrible. But we're going to end this now because I have some announcements to make before we wrap this up. So, Trailer Trash and watched on Netflix. Was there shawarma? Yeah, there was like comic illustrations, but there was no scenes. Whatever. It's the end. Alright. So, we have announcements. So, the rest of November just about. With the exception of Saturday. Saturday is my high school reunion. Yes, it's my 10-year reunion. And Thanksgiving. We have nothing but movie reviews, pretty much, for the good majority of the rest of November. So, let's see what we have on the docket. Thursday, we will have back-to-back reviews of The Menu, which I'm seeing with some friends, as well as She Said, A Story in the Wine Scandal, which I'm going to have to make some full disclosure just ahead of time in the review that my friend was a second assistant DP on it. Like a good friend of mine, so that I know someone in the crew. But we're going to see that movie. Friday, I kind of mapped it out. Friday, we are going to watch A Christmas Story Christmas and Blues Big City Adventure. Yes, the Blues Clues movie. Yes, I'm going to watch it. And I'll review it too. Saturday is my reunion, so Sunday we will talk about Disenchanted, the sequel to Enchanted. I can't wait to talk about it. and the documentary Mickey, The Story of a Mouse. Monday, we'll have a review of Spirited, starring Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Tuesday, we'll have a review of Luca Guadagnino's Bones and All, which I'll also be seeing possibly with a friend of mine. Wednesday, we'll have a slightly early review of Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery. Friday, we'll have reviews of the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special and The Fabelmans, which I cannot wait for, Steven Spielberg's new film. Next Saturday, yeah, we're still going. Next Saturday, we're talking Devotion. Next Sunday, A Strange World, the new Disney animated feature. And then the following Monday the 28th, we will be talking about the new Paramount Plus movie, Fantasy Football, starring Marseille Martin. So we will have nothing but reviews pretty much until the end of November from this point, after starting Thursday. So, that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Love you all without missed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do, or so I've been told. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, listen, other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at RaisinPopcornWithGrant. Twitter, I'm at RaiseGrant. You can also find me on Facebook, RaisinPopcornWithGrant. And on Serialized, I'm all one word, all lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. Check out my podcast, Raised on Popcorn with Grant, the podcast on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below. Oh, and also, leave a comment, even if they grant not like waffles, it really helps out. I want to know down below, what did you think of R.I.P.D 2, Rise of the Damned? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we're all raised on popcorn. Make my mouth extra butter. Catch you guys next time. Take care. Bye.